All right, I feel like
do it right, we can do it, baby. Do it tonight, baby.
All right, we said you gotta pay for that. No, but you just want to. A lot of giving head is a show. It's like those dog shows. You know what I mean? Like all of them just dumbass dogs. But like just the extra like twirl and making sure that the just gives you an extra point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At the end of the day, as long as they come, no matter how wet it is, no matter how deep you hit it in the back of your throat, as long as they come, that's the end goal. Right. Okay? And for me, it honestly depends on the person. Some people like a lot of spit, some people don't. Some people like it when you gag on a little more. Some people like when you like use the both head method.
Right.
Hey everybody, it's Word on the Curb podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Brittany.
And this is our special guest, Miss Anna.
She's so beautiful.
Anna, yeah. But first, to kick things off, this is Word on the Curb late night edition.
Yes.
But before we get into our kinky story times, honey, let's talk about Coachella, honey. I mean, Baychella.
Let me tell y'all, like, Beyonce snatched my fucking edges. As you can see, they're like obsolete right now.
So
like,
good.
They're gone. But I mean, she did it for the culture. I mean, I was here for it. We got here for it.
No, let's talk about how you did. So, let's talk about how you didn't wake me up while you. I'm in here watching Beyonce Coachella. I need the computer charger. I'm like, so you're not gonna invite me to watch it with you?
Well, she was like dead sleep, and I was like, oh, I'm just coming in here to get the charger for the computer. And she was like, oh, okay. And I mean, I didn't know that you wanted me to wake you up. Like, damn.
I mean,
right?
When you want
it's a big event.
I'm just saying, but when you want somebody to wake you up, I felt something in my spirit because she woke up all hype in the morning. Girl, Beyonce changed the game. Oh, I shed a tear. It was so good.
I legit cried real tears.
Oh my God.
I did. It did something to my spirit. You know what I mean? Like,
I can send you the link tonight.
Yeah.
So you can
obviously.
Yeah, there's a full.
Yeah, I was messed up.
I mean, it was nice that they had it on the live stream.
Yeah.
So that's how we were able to watch it, of course. But I mean, it would have been nice to be there as well.
But I felt the energy without even being there because honestly, you would have actually needed to be in the front row to get that full effect.
Yeah.
And if I was in the back somewhere in like
a concession stand, maybe.
Right, I would have been watching the popcorn pop, honey. I would have been like, I need to see Beyonce.
Yes.
Please. But no, it was so good, and it was like so colorful and so black and so just. And I know like a lot of it went over a lot of people's head in the audience because like it's a majority like. Mixed crowd, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're probably like, oh, what is the swag in the surf? Or what is the stepping she doing? Oh, it's Beyonce, so we're going to clap it. But I mean, like.
She does a lot of symbolism.
She did.
Yeah, she does. There was a lot of
A
symbolism.
lot of,
yeah. It was really good, especially for an event like Coachella, which is like built off kind of that history, I guess, of, you know, being yourself and being spirited and everything like that. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Like she's probably the greatest performer in this.
Oh yeah, she took over all platforms as far as trending wise. Like she was trending on Twitter, she was trending on Facebook, she was trending around the world.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
And she's actually the first Black female artist to headline Coachella.
Yeah,
oh isn't that
and
crazy?
it's 15 years history. So
that's crazy.
Wow, that's so cool.
She even said, "Ain't that a bitch?" While she was performing, she was like,
I mean, it's crazy.
I know that it's just now and it's 2018.
Exactly.
That's
it shouldn't be first like that. You know what I mean? But I guess it's progress. So we're gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, let's get into our topics here, honey.
Our sexy talk.
Our sexy talk. So this is like how I like to break the ice when it comes to like sex and relationships and everything before we get to our topic. Moscato. Brought to you by Sprouts Grocery.
That's right. Cheers.
You gotta look them in the eye.
Look them in the eye.
It's 7 years of bad sex. That's what somebody told me.
No, we don't want that. No.
You
gotta get burning eye contact then.
Not burning.
Girl.
But what would you guys say your freak number is?
Freak number?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Girl, let me tell you.
Wow.
So numbers like essentially like what you like to do. What would you like on your Richter scale of things that you would do like in the bedroom? You know what I mean? Like from 1 to 10.
I'm being enlightened.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
I've never heard this.
She told me about it once before, but I didn't know what it was.
I honestly guys it by what you would and wouldn't do in the bedroom, and if what you won't do like surpasses what you would do, then your freak number is a little lower. But if there's more thing that you're willing to do in the bedroom, then it's a little higher. I would say that I would be like an even kill 8.
Okay,
because I mean there's some things that I'm willing to do more than I'm willing not to do. I feel like there's just like little things I'm not willing to do, like have cum on my face, or I don't want nobody shit on me, or be peed on. Oh, that's disgusting. Or spit in my mouth.
Yeah,
that's nasty.
Please no.
Yeah. But like
I can be left in the toilet.
Right, I don't understand. Like I don't need you to shit, spit,
Please
or piss on me.
Yes.
That's not sexy.
Only thing going in here is dicks and food.
Come on.
Yes.
Dicks
and
food.
Yes.
No, like it's just not a lot that I'm not willing to do. Like I've done anal, I've done
She's about to get into it.
I mean, I'm just there's
wait, but did you really do anal though? Because
no,
you went all
it really happened, and I've only done it once.
I mean, so it was more than one thrust. Like he went in like
he went in a couple of times,
but a couple times.
Listen, okay, it happened once, and then it took too long for it to feel good, so I was just like, okay, that's gonna be it.
Really?
But I'm gonna,
You know, I've had it where it actually was pleasurable and like
really,
yeah,
like the whole time.
Yeah, no, it took some time, but then I was like, I kind of like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me relax.
Yeah. You're like,
so then what would you say your freak number is?
See,
like
my thing is
I
I feel like I'm mostly a never say never person where I'm not gonna ever
that's
like
me.
Okay.
Or mostly ever rule anything out.
Yeah.
But I'm also like there's some things like you were saying, like you're in my mouth. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't do
That's
that. But I don't know. But then when it comes down to it, I feel like I'm moderately docile. Like I don't do
really?
I don't attack.
Okay.
If I compare it like to my sister, you know, she's her freak number is real high.
Oh damn! So she's on the scale.
She makes the scale. She roasts
Yes,
it.
come on.
Yeah.
Come on, make it
So,
scale.
Yeah, I feel pretty
Off the Richter, honey, for
I'm
real.
curious now.
I know.
What about you, Brittany? You asking all these questions?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Child.
okay, so I would probably say for myself, I'm kind of have your thinking in that nothing's off the table 100%, but like I would kind of put myself at like an 8.5 or something like that.
8.5.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, the only reason why I'm questioning this number is because of like the things that you like tell me all the time that you would not do, and I'm like 8.5 is a little strong for the stuff that you wouldn't.
Well, then again, there is a lot of things that I would do that you aren't into that we've talked about as well, like a lot of like bondage and stuff like that.
So here's the thing.
So I mean, I like that shit.
Like comfortability and trust with the partner, because
Absolutely
with the right partner, you might be willing to try some things that you wouldn't normally try.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I've had
exactly.
that experience with things that I wouldn't like anal. I mean,
Yeah.
the person that I tried it with, I felt comfortable with and trusted, and I was like,
Right.
okay, that's right.
What are your thoughts on the plugs, the anal plugs?
I haven't used them, but I mean,
What is
I
that
imagine it
supposed
would
to
help.
do?
Well, it helps to stretch, right?
Like that, and like also it
and
adds
also,
extra
like,
stimulation when you're like
yeah.
he's entering you vaginally and there's the plug sitting in there.
Well, I've had.
See, and you talk. I mean, I know about. I just recently went to a sex workshop.
But have you ever had an anal plug in your butt?
At A Touch of Romance. It's like the one by across from the Culver City Mall.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say because the Treasure Chest in West Hollywood, they have classes. And
They do.
It's in an Amelia store. It's
Oh,
like a whole
I'm
new
down.
world. I was like,
It's
like I'm kidding again.
I can't.
No, I'm just kidding. What's that? I was like, what planet am I on?
I can't do it.
No, but
you've had a.
I imagine it's a similar sensation to when they like finger your asshole when
the finger.
No, I've had that. The thumb in the butt. I can do that.
Yeah,
That's
the thumb in the butt is
Yeah.
always like clutch.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's clutch.
Yeah.
my vagina
okay,
in order for that to happen.
How do you feel about having your salad tossed?
I'm not into like. I don't like my asshole being wet. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, if here's my thoughts, it's like, hey, if you're willing, you're welcome. But I'm not reciprocating. My mouth is not going near your asshole.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, and another thing is I don't know what you really get out of it. As far as
because
your,
when it was done to like when it happened to me, I was like, okay, like for me there really isn't any sensation back there,
Right.
that I like, unless
the penetration can't, like, if they get it in the right spot, the right position, it can be good. But I think that the eating out helps more so just to have things lubricated when they do get in there, you know.
For sure.
But otherwise, I mean, it's not like necessarily pleasurable. I'm like,
no.
When I first had it happen to me, I was kind of taken by surprise. I was like, oh, he
is really doing it.
Yeah,
he's really in there.
Yeah.
Like
himself a little snack in there.
Pretty
I know. Dingo
I
bear.
don't know.
What is it? Is that boo-boo?
It's like huge.
I don't know exactly. So it's basically like, you know, a little hidden surprise.
A little,
You know what I mean?
A little forgotten friend there.
I don't know what y'all talking about. It sounds like y'all shit over
like
there.
a little berry, like a little.
I mean, people like that too. Sometimes people like to be shitted on. Like they like when they're having anal sex. Like they want to be painted. They want to.
Oh gosh, please no.
I mean, it's a thing. People are into some weird shit.
I know.
So you know, if you like it, I love it. I can't. Hey, whatever gets you off, go for it.
Exactly. Yeah. No shame. Just as long as there's consent and everyone's having fun.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the dingleberry.
She's like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. So, like, do y'all have any hard no's in the bedroom, like where it's like, hell no, it's not happening, it's a done deal?
Yeah.
What are your hard no's?
For me, there's some things that are kind of sensitive, given like trauma in the past, that I'm just like, you know what, I can't. It's too reminiscent of painful memories. And so, I've encountered times. But yeah, as long as you vocalize those things, you don't need to necessarily get into the nitty gritty, but just say, you know what, no,
that's not what I'm into. Because then you'll have some people that you're involved with for, you know, a certain period of time where they feel like, well, maybe if I just work them into it, then maybe they'll say yes. You know what I mean? But I like to lay it down from get-go. This is not what I do. Honey.
Well, and I think that there's certain things, everything there should always just be, you know, mutual respect and consent first, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I had this guy, the first time we were gonna have sex, he started choking me, and I'm like, is that something you would ask? I'm like, I'm not down for that. You know, like I said, it just brings back painful memories, and I'm just like, no. Like, I know a lot of people love that, but I'm just not one of them. And like, maybe ask.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Like, no, I like choking.
Yeah, I know plenty of people do.
I feel like it's something that I don't know, because I probably would, to make them feel comfortable to know they can do it to me, I'll do it to them first.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, oh, you like that?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
or put like their hand on your neck or something.
You know, that's
okay.
okay.
Wouldn't you say that they should just assume that that's
no, that's not something that you do when you first have sex with somebody. That's just not.
Yeah. There's certain things like, just, you know, simple, is this okay? Or
like, and you can say it in a sexy way. Like, it doesn't have to be like this thing where like
this, or,
you know what I'm saying? How does this feel? You know what I mean? You can say it in like a gravelly, low voice.
Right.
Whatever you need to do, like
Exactly.
everything doesn't have to be a non-disclosure, but you know, just make sure consent is always through the entire time.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's fun. You know, it's not like, but consent is this like, you know.
I think it depends on, like you said, comfortability as well, because like if you're with someone and sometimes a little aggression is nice. I know me personally, I like a little aggression.
Right,
like,
definitely.
Sometimes I don't necessarily want to be asked. Like, I just want to do it.
Okay. Well, and that's like exactly what you're saying, the trust. You know? That's something that maybe from a first-time partner you want to have some, you know, have them ask.
Because it's kind of hard to do that.
Right.
When maybe you're just meeting them, or if it's like,
Right.
'cause it may be a one night stand, and maybe like someone who you just been talking to for a week.
Yeah.
But
No, I had just met this guy.
yeah,
It's
and
like,
he was like,
no.
I'm here to do this thing right here to you, shawty.
Yeah.
No, this is not what's happening right here today. No.
So stupid.
No. I just feel like consent can be sexy.
Yeah.
Like people
yeah.
feel like,
I
know,
agree.
it's not sexy to be like, oh, does this feel good? Like, no, like a woman likes the fact that as a man and or woman that you're asking to be involved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's sexy to be like, oh, is this okay? Like, do you want me to do it deeper? Do you want me to slow? Like that means that you care about my sexual pleasure at this point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're not,
You both want to be enjoying yourself.
exactly.
So,
But then you have some people who just like worry about the nut that they're gonna get,
yeah.
and then they want to be done, and then that's just it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I don't know. Like I just
Don't like. It's just everyone has their assholeish ways
Yeah.
when they're trying to get that nut.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
true. So how do you guys feel about guys that come too fast and that don't like let you get yours? Like how do you?
Their shit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Simple.
it's bottom line selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that just doesn't make it enjoyable for either. I mean, well, maybe for him.
For him, yeah.
But not, I mean, I think that it's the best kind of sex is when both of you are enjoying yourselves. And it's not necessarily like that you both come, but, but that you both are enjoying the experience.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like
yeah,
I
but
like,
no, it's definitely frustrating.
I like it
Yeah.
when someone like takes their time and genuinely wants to make sure that you reach your sexual peak as well.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like as women, we wanna come too.
Yeah.
It's not just about you and making sure.
It's like
that
it's
you
almost better to be with a guy that's a pleaser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's like a question that I guess that you want to bring up sometimes. Well, like when that discussion comes up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you like? Are you a pleaser? Like, do you try to cater to your woman, make sure she comes? Like, just make sure she's taken care of, and that because for the most part, we don't reach that climax at all, and it's frustrating
women are
because
complex and
you know what I mean, and it's mental. A lot of times, it is us because we are too much in our heads. But then again, I mean, the man has a lot to do with that as well.
Right.
So, just what you guys felt about that. But it also, I had a question in regards to, so let's say if you're with someone and he's like, oh, I really want to spice this up, like, would you be open to like us bringing somebody in, us going to a swingers club? Like, are you guys into that stuff as well?
Not when I'm in a relationship with somebody. I feel like those things, as far as swinging and threesomes, those are things that you will want to do before you're in a fully committed relationship. Only because I feel like you want to be like your best disgusting person in that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you want to be able to like fly off the ceiling. You want to be able to like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like you want to be able to just get, all those fantasies out of the way, before you indulge in a relationship, because you don't want that to come in and affect your relationship somehow to where they
But
feel
what
like
if it's something they like and they want to continue it? Like, what if he's like, well, I like, being able to like have sex with two women at the same time. Like, that's something that I'm always gonna like, and I need you to be down with.
well, we're not gonna be down together. We're not gonna be together. That's just what.
So it's not the guy for you.
No, it ain't the guy for me. Like I don't mind like someone having threesomes or like I plan to have a threesome one day before like I get into a long committed relationship because it's just something that I want to experience.
Yeah.
But I just feel like when you're in a relationship, it can complicate things. I think what I refer to the most is that episode of The Game when Melanie and Derwin are like trying to get their freaky back, and she invites this girl over for a threesome, and she starts kissing on him. He's like moaning and groaning, and he was like, yeah, like that. Melanie's like, you don't do none of that when I'm on you. And then she starts getting, a little subconscious about it. She's like, you know what? I don't want you to, and mind you, she had him blindfolded, so he didn't know that this wasn't Melanie. So she lets him, she kicks the other girl out, like, you know what, I'm not really into this, never mind. She goes back in to Derwin, and he was like, no, baby, do it how you was doing it before. That's what I don't like.
Oh, wow,
You
yeah.
may get somebody in the bedroom and they see something in her or him that you aren't doing, or they like a little better. Like, can we invite them back next time?
Yeah.
Or find their own little time to continue what y'all started when it was just the three of y'all.
So you think it might spark some sort of curiosity, some hunger?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, why bring fire to the wood?
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying. Because my initial thought was that, if maybe I was with someone for a long time and we wanted to, or I mean, it probably wouldn't be my suggestion, maybe theirs. And I might be open to it, just if it's something that they're wanting.
So you've never had one either?
No.
Okay.
But then what you're saying is interesting. I guess there does have to be that level of trust if it is from two people that are in a relationship and then someone else being brought in. But it can with anytime. I feel like anytime there's this like openness being introduced, there can be some risk with like jealousy or any complications. Someone who's trying to have an open relationship, a lot of times, there are complications. I mean, people's feelings get hurt, people get jealous or whatever. So sometimes I guess it depends on the person, maybe.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Like me personally, I have had a threesome, but I think when I'm in a relationship with someone, I don't know if it would necessarily be something I would want to indulge in, only because like you said, it can get messy.
Yeah.
Like, what if they end up linking up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Because then, should I say?
Well, the situation.
Yeah, because she had her threesome with someone she was dating at the time.
Oh, okay.
And when the
So
person that she was,
I'm
sorry.
Spoiler: I am bisexual.
Oh, okay.
So,
Hell yeah.
and so I was with a girl at the time, and mind you, I didn't know that we were about to have a threesome when I came over. So this is kind of why we kind of like we broke up.
That's interesting.
It was very
Surprise.
interesting.
Surprise.
So like, so like I'm like, okay, and then so I mean I went along with it. I did. But the funny thing is that next morning, because we all slept in the same bed or whatever, then the next morning she gets up, goes to work, and I'm just hanging out there in the bed, and the guy's still there. And he's like, so and then I got my ass up, and I got myself together, because I was like that too.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you leaving? I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, I thought we was going to do our own thing.
What?
I was like,
You're like,
what the fuck?
Bitch,
So, bitch, really? So, like, I just, that was crazy.
me, bitch.
Don't touch me, bitch.
I can't.
But it's just like, shit like that, like, just weird shit can happen. It was very interesting. I was just like,
so she just sprung it on you.
Yeah. I felt kind of like, I was like
blindsided.
Yeah. It's like, why would you do that? Like, you didn't ask me, like, I don't know this guy, like.
That's something you would probably
You
discuss.
you didn't tell me, like, I don't know why the fuck she did that, but but anywho.
When I think of threesomes, I think of the episode in Sex and the City when Samantha she had lots of sexual experiences, but when she was with that man Richard, and then he wanted a threesome with that 21-year-old, and she got kind of jealous, but then she called him daddy, and he didn't want to be made to feel older than he already was, because it was his birthday. He was turning, I don't know how old he was turning. Maybe 60, maybe, I don't know. But then they threw him out. But there was kind of that jealousy element and competition with the two women.
Yeah.
So
because it can happen. Like, then you start looking at yourself crazy if he's like giving her more attention and stuff like that. And you can be the most confident person, but we're all insecure in some way. Right. So, I definitely, I definitely think it can have like a negative effect. So.
Yeah. But I guess not all relationships and not all people are the same. So
for sure.
Could work for someone. Could make
Because I think something that's big right now that I'm assuming it is the polyamory or
polyamorous. Am I saying that right?
I guess something like that, when you have multiple women
or men.
and you're just kind of like you know.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, because I don't know if you guys think that we are naturally supposed to just be with one person. If you think that's natural, or do you think that we are meant to like kind of be fluid and just be out there and be like free spirits and just like fuck around?
Well, see, yeah, I always find that to be an interesting conversation because I can understand people's arguments when they say that we're not made to be with one person and all this stuff. But for myself, I know that I would need to just have a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
Although when it comes to cheating, although I don't ever condone cheating, I do think about that concept of like, are we, I mean, because we're just these animal creatures, like
Yes,
right?
exactly.
But then at the same time, I think about, okay, but you made the choice to be with
That's
this person
the thing.
and commit to this person. No one put a gun to your head.
No one told you to be in that relationship.
JP, what?
Exactly. And just
Like,
just your regular Joe Schmo too, like the guy down the street with no teeth and no job.
Yeah.
He cheating on his girl.
Exactly. And so it's like, okay, well, if you know that you want to be with someone, then do that, but don't commit to one.
Don't commit to one, and then mess around with it. Because that's a situation that happened to me recently. We were just, me and this guy were just dating, getting to know each other, but we were definitely like courting each other, talking on the phone every day, like going on dates. Yeah. And I come to find out, like he was in like a whole relationship.
Interesting.
A whole ass relationship.
With a stepchild.
With a stepchild and everything.
Wow.
Yes. So like, but my thing is like, you're clearly committed to someone else, and you are cheating on her,
right?
And I don't know about this. You know what I mean? So I think it's so fucked up. It's just like either you're gonna be with that person or you're not.
Right.
And then if they're okay with you stepping out, then okay, so be it. But make sure that other person knows because they might not be okay with it.
Right.
Exactly. So I like what Charlamagne says. He says you're as faithful as your options. And
I think that's the truest
I feel
statement
like
ever.
it's a really true statement. Yeah. Like, if you ain't got that many options, then you probably gonna be faithful to somebody. But if you always got people in your face, or if you feel like you can, pursue someone, and they're gonna give you that attention that you think that you're gonna get, then you're gonna get that person.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way as you all do. I feel like it's not necessarily, because at the end of the day, even when you're in relationships with people, you're not going to always be with that person. So that means that in the next moment you could be with somebody else. So no, we're not naturally meant to be with one person.
There's always going to be
there's always going to be, a situation where you're not going to be with somebody, and then you're going to be with the next person. Yeah. Meaning that you're not going to be with with one person for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
But I do feel like if you're going to make a conscious decision to be in a relationship, then you need to be in a relationship. If you don't want to be in a relationship, whether that is you want to date other people, you want to be with someone else, then you need to make those things clear to the person that you committed to.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just don't feel like it's fair to be with somebody and then to cheat or to mislead or misguide someone.
Yeah.
And then leave it on the guise of, well, I'm not perfect, or I'm human, or whatever the case may be.
Or you knew who I was entering into the relationship.
Exactly. It's like no, like you need to be, especially when it comes to adults. Like, you need to be responsible, consenting adults. Right. I know for me, like, I don't want to be with somebody who I know that is sleeping with a whole bunch of other people. Yeah. Condoms or no condoms. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you're putting my life in jeopardy when you do that. And that's something that I just do not rock with at all, because I take my life very seriously. Yeah. So as soon as you start to impede on my livelihood is when we got a problem.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
So do you think that there's dual-ended question? Do you think that there's a level of severity between cheating someone who's married or just in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? And then the other question is, do you think there's a level of severity in terms of emotional cheating, kissing, and then sex?
Okay, sure. So for the first question, yes, I feel like there's a clear difference in cheating in marriage and when you're just dating someone. For me, girlfriend and boyfriend means here today, gone tomorrow. Yep. When you make a commitment to somebody to marry them, you're not only doing it under the guise of God, essentially, but you're also doing it as a legally binding contract. That's a different layer of relationship. Yeah. Y'all intertwining business, y'all intertwining finances, all of that stuff. So when you think about you being with other people, when you got all that other stuff on top of it, it's laced with different things.
Yeah.
And plus, when you're married to someone, you're gonna want to have unprotected sex, and it's heartbreaking and it's heart wrenching when you're married to someone and they're cheating on you and you're giving yourself to them completely, and then you can come back with something. But this is supposed to be someone that you're supposed to be married to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do feel like there's a level of severity and difference in that. And then for your second part of your question, as far as like mental cheating, as far as like kissing, touching, I feel like if you feel like it's wrong, it's wrong. Whether it's kissing, whether it's text messages, whether if it's anything that you feel like you have to hide from your significant other, then it's obviously wrong.
Well, so if you were in the position of someone who found their significant other, say boyfriend or husband or whatever, maybe just like talking to a girl, would you, and then would you forgive him? And then if you found out that he kissed a girl or something, versus so what would you forgive, the talking, the kissing, or if it got to the point of sex?
I feel like once you're beginning in the phases of texting and talking to people, you're emotionally already unavailable to me because you've given your attention, you've taken your attention off of me and started to divide it or give it to someone else. And it's like I'm losing you at that moment because there's a disconnect because whether I want you or not, obviously there is something about you or something about this relationship that you feel like is lacking or that you need more of, and you're trying to get it from somewhere else. And sometimes there's no coming back from that, whether it's just a kiss, whether it's just a text message. I know for most women, it's when they're emotionally gone. When they're emotionally gone, that's when you need to be worried the most. Like, don't even, as a guy, don't even be worried about the fact if she slept with somebody else. When she's emotionally gone, it's a wrap.
That's
you know what I mean? So I feel like either way, it's cheating.
It's messy,
regardless.
To transition, I'm sure you've heard about the stuff going on with Tristan Thompson. Kardashian. So I wanted to ask you, what would you do in that situation? Would you take someone back like that like humiliated you pretty much in front of the whole world? Or,
I mean,
as you were pregnant and
this thing they're bringing a child into the world, and it seems like it was an ongoing habit,
Absolutely.
Right. And so I wonder the same thing, like what would I forgive, and like to what what level, like what all would I be willing to forgive, and that kind of thing, man, like because it's just like I feel like it's the ultimate deceit. Like they're having a child with you, and you're wanting to start a life with this person supposedly, and they might be seeming to be loyal and faithful and committed and loving, but then the behavior obviously shows a whole different person. So it's like, well, do I even know who you are, and do I want this person to be the father, like the present father of my child? Like obviously, I'm sure if they do decide to or break things off, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure she would probably have him be there, sometimes for the child.
They were like co-parent,
co-parent,
try to make it work for the child, maybe if they aren't good together. Me personally, I have like zero tolerance for things like that, so like I definitely wouldn't take him back. I don't care like if we are married, engaged, whatever. You do something like that to me, you can do it again. You know what I mean? And then to be so like lax. I mean, you're a public figure. You're just out there, there's paparazzi, and you're just...
He's big as hell.
And, the thing is, because I know that, like I was saying earlier, I never justify cheating, but I know that it can happen, and sometimes, things can get out of hand and whatever. Although, there are two willing participants, but in the cases with him, like, I saw that video, and he was a happy participant. He was
all
very
in it,
It wasn't just like, oops, like this happened, and several things, like several times, several women, and all, like for a long period of time. So it's like, I mean,
I think it's, I definitely think it's kind of fucked up that It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, and then, you know, there's that other argument. Granted, none of us really know, like, or I don't know if we really give a fuck about how they came together as far as, like, him apparently, or allegedly having left his other girlfriend that was pregnant during her third trimester, which is where that name comes from.
Tristan third trimester Thompson.
Yes. So, so the argument out there right now is that, you know, you lose them how you get them. So basically, like, he was with someone and he left her for you, and apparently with Lamar Odom, he was with a woman, and so she went to the restroom and she came back and Chloe was sitting on his lap or something like that. So, I mean, there's that argument as well. It's just like, well, do I feel sorry for you?
Right. And it's also just about having good judgment.
Yeah.
Like, you can't possibly think that someone who was just in a relationship with somebody who was still not even far along in their pregnancy is a genuine person as far as wanting to build a relationship with.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
But sometimes people think that they're like better than
Different.
other people and they're different. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he wouldn't do that to me. I'm
Right.
like, I mean, look at
But
me.
she should know.
Or that they can fix them, or
Or that they can fix them. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but nothing at all will fix or keep a man. Like,
Not money, not fake ass, not
fake ass,
not
titties.
not
there is
cultural
like
appropriation.
nothing at all that will keep a man. If he
None
does
of
not
it.
want to be kept, and if he wants to stray, he will stray.
Oh,
No
absolutely.
matter, he'll find a way.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
which is, you know, it's
It's sad too,
Fuck
because
that.
when you think about people that are incredible women like Beyonce, and
right. And then
it's like
what
no
happened
one is what's the word?
No one is,
invincible. Not
yeah,
invincible. No one is
Invincible.
I get where you're
invincible
coming
too.
from.
Yeah, like, you know, even. But then, you know, some people will bring up the argument that these men are threatened by these powerful women, and that's why they cheat. Although I think that's the shittiest excuse.
I think
It's
it's
so
very
shitty.
I don't think they're threatened at all. They just like they have a dick and they want to.
It's their options thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's the option. Yeah, I'm this huge celebrity. I have these millions of dollars. Like, yes, I have someone that I love, but I want to go out there and stray and mess with other women because I can.
Right.
It's like a power thing. It's like I can do this.
Well, then,
Like,
and then,
you know.
but that could also tie back into that argument where they want to feel powerful because the woman they're with is so powerful, and maybe they feel like
Less powerful.
Yeah.
Because of that.
And that could also
Yeah.
be an example of society and what has been kind of conditioned to make people
Very
think
true.
and you know,
That's
desire.
very true.
Very true. Yeah, it's
Very true.
I mean, we definitely live in a society where like women are here and the men are just kind of propped up, and you know we aren't looked at as they're equal, of course.
Right.
So I mean, but I don't know. I guess it is what it is on that matter. But
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't see it. I don't.
Just then.
Yeah, because it's like it for that to change, I think that it'll take a long time. I mean, that's as far as like we know that's just how it's been. And I mean, gradually things are improving and progressing, but I mean, it's gonna be like that for a while.
Exactly.
So, but we do have to keep having these discussions and talking about it, and just having the conversation and
Being aware.
being aware.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Because a lot of times we're just so blinded by what we've believed all our lives, you know.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's very true.
but other than that, I'm trying to think of the next
But to transition into our topic for today, is the differences in all that we just talked about right now, right? Sex, being in relationships, all the things. What is the difference between sex, fucking, and making love? Now, Brittany and I,
because she
we've been
told
having a
she
tug of
told
war
me
of this.
about this earlier. We talked about it again, and I was like, wait, isn't sex and fucking the same thing?
That's what I was
I'm
thinking,
confused.
right?
So I want you, Ashley, to
Yes.
explain that to Anna and I.
I'm ready to explain.
Yeah,
it.
I want
okay.
you to
on the drive
difference.
here, I'm like,
So I
Yeah.
want to break down all three, or do you want me to do fucking and sex first? Since
Do
we already know
fucking
loving.
and sex. And
Okay,
tell me
so
what's the
this is
difference between
the difference between fucking and sex. fucking is more. It's more animalistic.
Right.
It fucking can be just as passionate as making love. The only difference is that it's more aggressive. It's more intentful. When I think of sex, I think of a one night stand. I think of just getting your rocks off. I think of just like a quickie. I think of just something that's not intimate, something that like where you're just literally just there to come and that's it. Like there's nothing like in between, before or after it, that makes it either intimate as far as making love would be, or aggressive and animalistic, and it's gratifying as fucking would be. Like I feel like fucking is just like one of those things where you like look at someone in their eyes, like you're like this, you're in it, and then like, and during sex you're not kissing, you're not rubbing, you're not touching, you're not caressing, you're not really like engaged into what's happening. So I feel like that's the difference between fucking and sex. I feel like sex is just the surface. Sex is just primal. It's not really, you know what I mean? Like animals in the kingdom, when they have, there's no making love, there's no fucking in that. They're literally just doing that to procreate and to get their rocks off. When they're having sex, the women are like, they're not. You see how those lions and those gorillas, female gorillas are. They're not enjoying that shit. They're just like, okay, I gotta take this until it's over. Like for them, it's just about procreating, and for the man, it's about just like, I'm the king of the jungle. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the difference for me.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I have a better understanding of like how you see that.
Yeah. See, I was thinking that fucking is like the least intimate and just
that's what I thought it was. Yeah,
and then sex is like the next.
It's like the next level up.
Right.
That's how I
was
viewed
thinking.
it. Yeah, and then.
But that makes sense.
But that, yeah.
I mean, I think of 50 Cent. 50 Cent said, I'm here to have sex. I ain't into making love.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to catch feelings for you. I'm not here to caress you and ease your mind and kiss you in your mouth and make you feel good.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just here to come and I'm gone.
Right. Well, but then that's what I was thinking that fucking would be too.
I think it's just such a better word too.
It's like, yeah. I do think of like passion and heat and just like aggression.
I'm just saying like, I mean like fucking just, it's just the bilabial like just feel on it on your mouth.
I don't know about you, but sometimes when a man says like, oh, like I just want to fuck you so hard or something like that, like
yes, what man who really wants you? I want to have sex with you so hard.
Yeah,
I want to sex you up. Other than calling me bad. I want to sex you up. TikTok, you know. Like that's the only time it's kind of sexy. Well, other than that, it's like, I want to sex you real bad.
Right. Yeah.
Like think of all your romance novels. Think of like Zane. Like she uses fucking. She uses making love. She uses like stuff like that. That type of verbiage.
Yeah, I know. I get that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally though, I still overall I think it could be one and the same. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. But we also had a disagreement on what intimacy is. Because really, how do you feel? How do you define intimacy?
Well, intimacy, is when there is feelings and emotions there.
Right.
You know, that's how I see it.
Right.
Yeah.
But weren't you trying to put intimacy and sex as the same thing?
Well, yeah. Not necessarily. I mean, as in the act. That's what you're doing. Right. You're having sex. Yeah. But, I mean, you can...
That's it. I'm sorry. That's it. Sex is just the act. It's just an act. But fucking and making love puts coloring on the act. That's what makes it different. If you're literally just like, done. That's sex.
Right.
But if there's no in-between, there's no... coloring, there's no anything that brings it out of what the act is, then it's just sex. It's just it really is what it is. It's the difference between putting a hot dog in the microwave and putting it on a grill, when you put that hot dog on the grill, you're gonna get a better result than if you put that shit the right way. When you put that shit the right way, it's gonna bust. It's gonna be shriveled at the end. It's not gonna be juicy. None of the flavor gonna be there. But when you put that motherfucker on that grill, it keep all that juice. It get a little crispy.
You get them little
marks on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, actually now that you put it that way.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
So do you guys think that, like, if let's say you have a fuck buddy, like, are you guys just fucking, or are you like having sex, or can it be like an intimate, like making love type thing?
I mean, if there's love there.
Okay.
I mean, you can't make love to somebody who you don't love. I feel like that's just
right. But if you do love them,
then you making love.
I mean, I'm just speaking, in sense of like it just being your friend that you happen to be having sex with.
Right. If there's love there and there's a general consensus that y'all both love each other, then you absolutely can make love.
Okay.
But if this is someone who
so you don't think you have to be boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband?
No, I made love to somebody who I wasn't in a relationship with.
Okay.
Who I loved, but we weren't in a relationship.
Right. Okay.
I just feel like I don't feel like you need to be in a relationship to make love to somebody.
Yeah.
You could be in a relationship with somebody, y'all just having sex.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That is true. I know of someone like that, and they just basically like do it just to. Well, he does it. He just has sex just to like get it out of the way, but there isn't actually any attraction there. So it's kind of like I'm not exactly sure why you want to be with someone that you're not sexually attracted to. I don't know if you guys would ever do that. If you would not take that
business relationship.
It's I don't know if it's more of like an opportunity type thing where they're like getting something from that person financially, or you know what I mean. Like if there's like another reason, or well, we ain't gonna get into that, but but yeah, like what do y'all think about that? Like,
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
If I'm having sex with
being
you,
with
it's like
someone who you're not sexually attracted to,
Yeah.
and sex is just like
it's just kind of like something that you're doing with that person. Like, would you ever be the person to do that? Basically?
See, I was thinking about this today. I feel like you can almost be repulsed by someone, like not be sexually attracted at all, but you can have good chemistry in bed. You know, you can have this like heat and this passion, but you're not even like if you saw them on the street, or you might even like hate this person or just think nothing of them, but you might have this like fire chemistry in bed.
Right.
Okay. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that. I know me personally, like, I will say I have, like, been sexual with someone that I kind of was like, you ain't really that cute, but, I mean, I'm going to do this right now.
Right. No,
I've never had that moment.
Really?
Oh,
no. I've been there, girl. I've been there.
No.
Well, then for me, it wasn't an enjoyable experience. I mean, we were comfortable with each other.
Yeah, it's like
friends.
yeah.
But I was like, is this over?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think there can be the instances, like I was saying, where you don't think they're cute and they're not your type, but
you kind of still do it anyway.
But the fuck is good.
Even at that, like, it may be like, I guess, like, would you have sex with them? I guess you guys aren't the type of people to just like have sex with somebody to get something out of them. You know what I mean?
No.
And just to do it just because, like, oh, let me, fuck this person and I'll get this, but then like I'll go over to whoever else to like really get my rocks off. You know?
My spirit wouldn't be right with that.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't either. I don't see how people do it.
Especially if I'm really just not attracted to you, like I'm gonna have to get it some other way because this ain't it.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
you probably gonna be dry. Like, it's like Like, don't be like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I have been in a relationship where it's like one of those relationships where you know it's drawing to an end,
yeah,
and at this point, it's just like the sex. It just becomes like mundane. It just becomes like something that you do because you're in a relationship, and no longer because it's something that you want to do and that you're intimate about. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this is like the status of a relationship. You have sex, you go on a date, check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it starts to become like a job, more or less than something that you're like passionate about.
Yeah.
So that has happened to me. But
okay, I can understand that. So,
but we didn't discuss making love though. Now, what do y'all think of? Well, actually, you know, this is what I want to ask as well. Do you feel like you can have all three as far as fucking, sex, and making love in a relationship? I feel like the sex part is like, I don't know. You go.
Well, you were just saying that, you know, sometimes you can reach either, you know, you're nearing the end or just like a kind of a dry time in a relationship where you're just having sex. You're just kind of like checking it off the list.
Yeah.
Right. And then I feel like there can be times where, you know, I don't know, maybe you were like sitting through a boring family event and there was just like tension building and you get home and you just fuck, like, you know, there's that passion.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there, maybe you just had like your anniversary and it's like a romantic evening, you get home and you make love and you know, it's this intimate, beautiful, like slow thing. And so I think that there can be all three in a relationship, but at different times. And also, like you were saying, it can be in a different kind of relationship, not just you know, a boyfriend girlfriend type of thing. It could be friends or fuck buddies, because you know, maybe someone. I mean, you could be fuck buddies with someone that you previously were in a relationship with.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
that is true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're just friends, or, you know.
And sometimes you love your friends more than you love somebody who you was actually in a relationship with. You know, because usually when people pick a fuck buddy, it's usually somebody that they actually care about. Especially if you're continuously having sex with that person. Like this is just somebody who you just, you know, you've seen a couple of times and you decide that you want to have sex with them. That's one thing. But if you're continuously having, I have a 3-time rule. If I'm having sex with you more than 3 times, that means that I like you on some level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree.
I mean, if I'm just there for another, I'm not gonna have sex with you that many times.
Yeah.
I'm coming back for something more than just sex.
Obviously,
we have great conversation. Obviously, we have a lot in common. Obviously, I like you more than just a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like you enough to where I care about your feelings. I care about you intimately. I care that you're satisfied. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're just having sex with somebody, you don't give a shit. Like,
yeah, and you can care for your fuck buddies. You know?
Great.
You ate my pussy.
All right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you can care for a fuck buddy.
Yeah.
You know, they can be someone you
definitely
really care for, but
can,
that you're just not in a relationship with.
Yeah.
But you still care about their life. You care about their pleasure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some people like that even better than like being, you know, in a relationship with someone, of course, because you have that flexibility to just be, you know, care for someone, have sex with them, but like not kind of have that title on it to where like you feel like you're like restricted to where like you can't do anything else. But I do feel as though when you have fuck buddies, because we've all been there, and like, but I think there should be that conversation where you decide if you're gonna be like monogamous fuck buddies.
That's
where,
so
like,
crazy.
Well, because like sometimes, you know, I mean, we've all been there where we don't use protection, and it's like that discussion needs to be had.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had a discussion like that before, where it was like, listen, we're not together, but like just keep it like, you know, keep it real and keep it honest with me. Like if you're involved with someone else, or if you know, you feel like this isn't something that you want to do anymore, just let me know.
Yeah.
So it's not like a
absolutely.
one-sided thing where I'm just like, well, I thought we were, you know, that we were cool, or whatever the case may be. And if you are having sex with somebody else, just making sure that we're always going to be using protection.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what that is.
Yeah.
Or if we're going to be monogamous fuck buddies, when you feel like, you know what, I want to have sex with other people, let me know. So we decide to have sex again, and we're going to be using a condom.
Exactly.
That's
Not
what
and that's all. Like, I don't think that's too much to ask.
I don't think so either.
Like,
That doesn't like mean that why you in my business? Why you got? It's not even about that. It's like
about
it's about
safety.
It's about safety. It's about my livelihood. Like
Like,
I don't
you're
care
fucking
about my life.
Yeah.
Like people need to get that understood. I feel like people like take stuff like cheating and not being honest about your sexual partners, so they take that lightly. And there are so many like diseases and infections that are around that I don't even know the names of.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get none of them because some of them you can't get rid of.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just feel like if everybody keep it real, then everybody be good. But I don't know. People.
Yeah.
Not everybody
No.
has the
You're
same
right. Yeah.
mindset and the
No,
same
Yeah.
thinking.
I mean, some people like to live on the edge. They kind of just like to do their own thing and like just like fuck it, like I'm doing what I want to do. and
Yeah.
whatever
Or live
happens,
in denial.
in denial,
Yeah.
and
That too.
you know whatever the case may be. But I don't know. It's definitely not something that I'm into. You know what I mean?
Me either.
Like,
No.
yeah, I just think that's crazy.
Just keep it real from
Yeah,
jump.
just keep it real.
Right.
Yeah.
And we won't have these issues.
Yeah.
And that's
Communication is always best.
Especially
Yes,
because communication, yes.
key, honey.
Mhm.
In every type of relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
With your mama, with your daddy, with your sister, with your brother, with your cousin, with your uncle. All of them. Communication is vital.
Right,
Exactly.
and
But
open communication helps comfortability too. Helps you
Yes.
get comfortable with each other because you have that understanding, and you have that openness, and
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
mutual respect.
Exactly. So I wanna jump in now that we're done with our topic. I wanna jump in something a little more fun. Okay. So what do you guys feel like the ultimate way of giving like a blowjob is? This is fun. I like
Yes.
this.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
technique?
Yes, technique,
Okay.
honey, technique. Point your toes. Yes. Point your toes. Like what is like?
I think, obviously every man is different and they like
Yes.
different things. Some men like a little teeth, some men like a little,
Really?
No,
No men like teeth.
a little. I've met some men that they'll ask me to, just a little, just a little pressure, but nothing, not like the whole time you're like,
Yeah.
or like, huh? But just,
She's like,
That was
But-
a dog race.
they just want a little, like, nothing.
What is it?
So like a light graze. You like graze.
Yeah,
Come on,
very light.
Grace.
Yeah, very light. No, yeah, but I mean, like I said, I think it's dependent. Every man likes different things, but
Yeah.
there also is maybe a pretty universal.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
I wouldn't say
she.
universal because it's not one size fits all. Literally.
Oh well, yeah. Oh no, definitely. Like
But-
I mean, you definitely. All dicks aren't treated the same.
That's all dicks
But-
aren't made equal.
You said spit. I think that's definitely true. You gotta keep it
You
nice.
gotta
and
keep it
yeah,
slightly.
it's like a slip and slide.
Yeah, yeah.
Slip and
Nice
slide,
and
break it,
penetrated.
stick it to the house.
Right.
And I think they
It's
like
nothing
it.
like
They
a
think it's
dry
sexy.
dick. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. You don't want that, and it's
No.
that comes with gagging on it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
making sure it hits the back.
Mhm. Yeah.
You want to come in on this
I've
because you
never
have
met one man that didn't like that.
yeah. Like what man?
Right.
Come on now.
Actually, what do you have to say here?
I don't know. I feel like
She's
Rita's
got-
trying to put
she's
me out
making
there.
some
Like,
Well,
faces.
because we've had this discussion before, and you have your method. So I want you
Okay,
to
that's
tell
right.
us your method, demonstrate your method.
She's on the
Demonstrate.
spot right now.
I mean, well,
Demonstrate.
you can just use your
Here.
hair movements. I mean, come on now. This is like
child.
we're trying to like see what the techniques are so that we can.
We're
get
trying to take some notes
good
here.
blowjob.
I don't need y'all taking no notes for me. Listen, I only
She's like,
give
don't be rapping my tape.
I only give
My
head
moves.
the best way that I know how to give head.
Okay.
Okay, and that's just with love and care.
Okay.
Okay, I take my time and I do it right.
Mhm.
All right, I feel like I do it right. We can do it, baby. Do it tonight, baby. All right, we say it's supposed to have pay for that. No, but you just want to. A lot of giving head is a show. It's like those
Yeah.
dog shows. You know what I mean? Like, all of them just dumb ass
The weird
dogs. But like just the extra like twirl and making sure that the just gives you an extra point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At the end of the day, as long as they come, no matter how wet it is, no matter how deep you hit it in the back of your throat, as long as they come, that's the end goal.
Right.
Okay. And for me, it honestly depends on the person. Some people like a lot of spit, some people don't.
That's true.
Some people like it when you gag on a little more. Some people like when you like use the both head method. Like
Right.
if I'm trying to put on the show and trying to make you come, then I'm like doing all of it into one. If it's one of those things where like I'm just I'm on my period or something, I'm just trying to make sure that you get your nut for the week or whatever the case may be.
I'm just not for the week, bitch.
Whatever for the week,
I'm
but you know what I mean.
For the day.
I'm just saying, I just probably just like work the tip a little bit, and that'll get them there. That'll get them there fast. But I just feel like there's levels to it, and I feel like it honestly depends on the dick. Like you're not gonna suck everybody's dick the same way.
Right.
The bigger the dick is, it's harder for you to suck, unless you're just going straight for the tip. But if you're trying to put on the show, it's gonna be difficult for you to put on the show with this big ass peen that you just trying to like get into. Like that's gonna take more work. But if it's a smaller one, then I mean that's less to undertake. You know what I mean? So that would be like my like just of it.
I think another point too is mixing it up and don't neglect anything. You know,
Yeah.
don't neglect the balls.
You know what?
I
I
don't
hear that a
really
lot.
like balls.
I mean, I think they're
No
fun.
one does, but
They're fun. They're like
You can't neglect
I
that.
don't like balls.
But like, I don't think that I know what to do with them.
I don't know what the hell to do
Give
with
them a
balls.
nice
Honey.
nice
Like he
little
literally has to tell me. He was like, "Oh
Toss.
my balls." I'm like, "Oh." Okay, let's go to these balls out. Whatever I do with her, I have not decided. I don't even know why they're there. It's like, what do you need balls for?
I mean, you kind of need them to procreate.
Okay, but we're not trying to procreate. We just trying to get it in.
But to your point, like I don't know. Like I know, like sometimes maybe you can massage them or like.
I mean, that's what I do. I'm like,
Well, yeah, I understand.
girl, I'm so lazy with this shit. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I think also it depends on the guy for me, where like how much time I'm willing to spend down there, because sometimes based on the guy and based on the dick, there's some dicks, I don't know if you've experienced this, that they're just so beautiful. You want them in your mouth for as long as possible.
Yeah.
They're just,
some pretty pink.
you know, you want to just spend
See
the
some
whole
pretty
day, you
pinks.
want to have a little picnic down there.
Yeah.
But then there's some you're like, oh, I don't want that.
Yeah. Especially those uncircumcised ones, but that's me.
See, I've never had that.
I've never had that.
No.
It's not the most pleasant.
I think that
We gotta
Well,
go
I
back
do
to it.
like that.
Yeah, but when you do, in my experience, when I pulled back
The
the
winter
coat,
coat.
it was like
little peacoat.
it was wet
Oh.
behind it. I don't know if that's supposed to be like
I think
that.
they're supposed to clean it.
It was.
Not.
I don't know if that was supposed to be there. It was like to clear the substance. I was just like,
Disgusting.
That is supposed to be my dinner?
yeah, like
I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why mothers would do that to their sons. Like,
I
just
mean-
clip that shit off. You're making it so much more difficult for him as he gets older. Like, and doctors recommend it. Like, you don't have to do it, but they do recommend it because it's a sanitary thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, and some men say that it's painful as they grow too.
yeah, I can imagine.
Right.
And especially if you decide to, imagine if you decide to get it cut off they don't numb that area. I don't think.
I don't know how they do it.
They
but
just
I think
spit that shit
it's
off.
well. I think they do, but I do believe that the healing is what's painful. Like
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
why when little boys you gotta keep them like they little booties in the air so it can like get air and it can breathe.
Yeah.
That they not laying on it all the time.
Yeah.
But that's a good time to have it because they're babies and it's gonna heal a little.
It's gonna
Heal
heal
faster.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
Yeah.
so what's good dick etiquette? Because when you
That's a
okay,
good
so
question.
I had a gay friend
okay.
that no, because you know him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Uh.
he wanted to go down on this guy after he had been serviced and he kept, denying it. And finally, he was like, "I have to warn you, I'm a little small." And he's like, "No, it's okay, it's okay." So he gets down there, right? Opens the curtains, and it was quite small, and he just closed the curtains back up and took off.
Are you serious?
So when you do that, because I've had my fair share, I've had some small pieces, and
I've encountered that.
I gave him a pity little sign.
Yeah, I know. I get where he's coming from. I've experienced that before in college. I still did go through with it. But I couldn't feel anything. Right? Yeah, you feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had this guy who was very small, right? And he was like, "Oh, you can fit it all in your mouth," and I'm like, "Not much." Over here flossing.
Bitch!
She said I'm over here flossing.
I hate dudes do that.
It's like
you taking this big old thing, huh?
I'm like, "Ooh, it's barely
Unleash
making
the
it past my
dragon.
lips."
I was told that before about child. He said he about to unleash the dragon. That was not no fucking dragon.
Bitch, he told you was going to leave.
Yes, he
Where
said
is it?
I was like,
That's the dragon? That's the lizard.
Yeah.
That's the damn, what's the damn thing for Bugard that Eddie Murphy played? Who was he? He was that big headed.
But it's like
Superfly. Girl.
See, I couldn't imagine myself doing that, but I almost wish that I was ballsy enough to do that. Just be like, I'm good, never mind.
Yeah,
But
I wasn't involved enough in that.
No, because the times that I've encountered, small little men, I just, I'm like, well, we're here.
We're here, yeah. So
We
you
got
just
it.
go through
We
with
got
it.
it.
You just kind of like,
Yeah.
you just kind of like
No
thinking
return
like,
policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
But
like,
it's not
and then you just don't hit them
It's
up
not
after it.
fun. It's
Yeah,
just
it's a waste of time. It's like,
Is it like
it's
this?
getting like a
Would it be like this? Like,
lollipop that you
you used to be like this?
Yeah.
I mean, because like that's more like, and it's
Like
sad
this.
because it's
Ooh,
like,
you taking it all, girl. Ooh. Oh
It's
yeah,
I was
you
like,
taking it all.
yeah,
Wow, you
wow.
taking it real deep.
Oh, yeah, it's
Oh.
deeper. It's like a lollipop. We so far the bitch can go.
but you know what? I do feel kind of bad because it's
Yeah.
like they can't do anything
they
about
can't.
it.
No,
So
yeah,
it's like
so
with us,
That's
like
why.
we can enhance pretty much
Right.
things on everything on our
Yeah.
body for the most part.
Exactly. Well,
You know, so-
technically, there are dick enhancement surgeries.
There are.
How
And
you
male
can
enlargement
get it, right?
pills.
They put a dick on top of the dick.
You so funny.
I don't know.
It's like they stretch the skin. They see,
Exactly.
they kind of see if it's dormant first to see like there's some extra dick under there somewhere that just ain't
That
getting out.
have to unravel.
Right, and they
Oh my
don't ever get
God.
out. And then if they find that out, then they can extend it for you.
Wow. Wow, you've done your research, girl.
No, I
Done your
watch
homework.
I watch things.
See,
It's
yeah,
scary.
I feel the same way. I'm like, well, it's not their fault, and sometimes size doesn't matter as long as they know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But I can't say that size doesn't matter in terms of like appeal, because you look at this little chode and you're like,
Until they actually use it.
Yeah.
right. And some women, that's their preference. They want a small penis.
I mean,
You
I
got
don't
one
necessarily
like
want like my perfect size for me is like, and I'll do an 8.5 to
Wow.
9 at most,
Wow.
and then at the least I'll do like maybe like a 7 or a thick 6.5, or 6 3/4 or something like that. I mean, because like I'm sure we've all been in a situation where we've had like those like extra large dicks in our life, and like they're not the most pleasurable at
Right.
all.
No,
You know what I
especially
mean?
penetration wise.
So
It's
no,
not.
it's not. It's like this fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
feel good.
No. Yeah.
So
Especially if you have somebody, and sometimes like men, they're like so cocky and they know they have a big dick, they want to use the whole dick, but you ain't gotta use the whole dick. You got a big old dick.
yeah,
Like-
I mean, but you know, the tip is the most sensitive part, so that's the part you really want to get, the
Yeah.
most love. But like, I mean, what man doesn't want his whole dick inside of like
No
a mouth
man.
or pussy or whatever?
Right, right.
So like, I get it, but it's like, you
And
have to
I don't
remember.
like. I'm not into this culture of making like women feel bad because it's like, oh, she can't take dick. Well, maybe your dick too big to be taken. Goddamn it. Maybe that's what that is, because like, I mean, it's only the G spot is only like how many It's something, child. But
maybe
it ain't
2
that
or
damn.
3
It ain't that
inches.
damn deep. So it's like you don't really need that much dick to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't feel like you should make women feel bad for not wanting to take your abnormally large penis.
I mean, I always wonder if the tables were turned, how men would behave, because half the time they can't even find the clit. So you think that they'll
don't
be
even
able
know
to
what damn
fit a
clit
whole
is.
dick in their mouth and
Yeah.
make sure that there's no teeth and that they're
not
gagging
grazing
on
it
them,
and
and
suffocating,
right?
and about to die,
Breathing correct,
and eyes watering,
right?
nose running.
Yeah. You have no problem.
You sound like you
Have these men. You're like, my kid's over here. I don't
Right.
know, I don't know
Like-
where you're going.
Where you? Oh yeah, your tongue.
That's my belly
Or
button.
you're biting my vagina. You're biting my clitoris.
Oh, that. Okay, so I want to transition to, now that you brought that up, I just want to get you guys' opinion on, like, oral sex and how so some women like their clit sucked on. For me, it hurts.
I don't like my
It's
clit
very
sucked on.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But from what I was told by, a guy, he was like, well, some girls like that. Like, no. Like, that fucking hurts. Like, you're supposed to, like, blow on it or, like,
Yeah.
like, lightly, like.
And don't just do like what girls like. You need to take every vagina is different.
Right.
So
No,
don't go
every
into
single
it. Don't
one.
go into it like, oh, I'm gonna do what I did to her. What I did to the girl before. Like, no, this is a whole new vagina, baby.
Yeah,
You need to
exactly.
take care of this, honey.
She's a whole new model.
She's a whole new model.
She's a new leg, new
She's
model.
new make, new model, new everything, new car lot,
Right.
all of it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Exactly. No. Yeah. I agree. I think that different women have different enjoyments, different desires.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and some women don't experience pleasure from their clitoris being stimulated. Like they prefer like stimulation or both. And yeah. So it all depends.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily like being fingered. I honestly feel like it's a little nasty. Because I've never met a man. Well, yes, I have. But most men don't have really nicely manicured fingers.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
And they're like, they working, they rolling their blunts, they
Yeah,
like
I
doing
don't
the
know where your
right,
hands have been going.
right, and they just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, listen.
You know what?
Right,
I'm
I'm
so
sorry.
same way. I was in Santa Monica, right? I was with a friend, and we were biking along the beach, like right by the pier, and I just happened to look over, right? Traumatized for life now because I see this couple making out, and the guy is just finger blasting her, and I was like,
Oh my
you know,
god.
like, gouge my eyes out now.
Oh my
And I felt
gosh.
disrespected on her behalf, like that. I mean, maybe she's into that, like a public
Probably,
display,
yeah.
but just like the way he was doing it, and maybe the appearance of the guy, it just seemed so douchey and disrespectful and like gross. Like he was
Yeah, that is really gross.
That's like
Just
pornographic
go,
fingering.
like,
get
Like,
this
literally,
right.
like, I know it's so cliche, but get a fucking room. Like, go sit
Right.
down, that shit, like,
Yeah.
that's crazy to me. But I will say, and then after this, we'll wrap up our conversation. But I will say that, like, I do think it's sexy sometimes to, like, maybe, when you're with someone, like, if you are out in a public, not to the point where there's, like, all these people around, but, like, I think, a little touching here and there is fine.
Yeah,
But,
'cause
like,
that's that kind of thrill.
there is I think a fine line
Right.
that
Yeah.
should be drawn with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just, like.
But I think that the whole finger blasting thing, a lot of times it doesn't seem like much care is put into it.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's just like
It's just like
They just go
I'm
out
just
there
like-
like,
that's like if we got into a dick and we're just
right, they would be pissed. They would not like that shit. They would like, wait, hold on. Like,
Yeah, you gotta
Right.
variety.
you know what I mean? You have to know, like, sometimes do your research, like, go look at some porn, like, see
Yeah.
what are people doing, like, how are they getting
Man,
there, or see, like,
porn is the biggest scam ever. I feel like porn does not teach you shit. I feel like porn is just a facade or like
it depends.
unless it's
Yeah.
like the porn that I watch is more of like, it's like you know what I watch Afrocentric porn.
Yeah.
Like people who are like really like in love and like who are couples who are like really making the moments, like they're doing foreplay, they're like really making moments. It's not just about, you know, a shot value or making sure the camera is right here during this part, whatever the case may be. It's really realistic.
Yeah.
Unlike some porn that's just like so stupid and so barbaric.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
And a lot of it's just the same thing you see all the time, and
just to get clicks
women
or
in the same kinds
positions
of
and no variety and no like.
And it's all about the man.
Yeah, I'm not really like, if you're gonna look at porn, look at some porn that there's porn that caters to like relationships and like people who are like really trying to satisfy someone, not just have sex with them. I feel like porn is just for the getting off. It's not really about showing you how to really like nurture someone's body.
Yeah.
So
and
if
then,
you're
right, and then there are some men who clearly like take from porn too literally and just assume that you're gonna be like the women in the videos and assume that you're gonna enjoy the same things that these women seem to enjoy in the videos, which is acting, you know.
Exactly, they're there to do a job. They're not really.
That's their
like,
job.
Enjoying it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So totally agree on that. But I want to thank you, Anna, so much for coming
You
and
are
having this
first guest.
conversation.
Oh my God.
First guest for Word on the Curve podcast late night. This has been such an amazing discussion. I loved it. You were amazing.
I'm
And
so glad you guys invited me. It's
yes,
so fun.
yeah. This was. I mean,
so
just
girl talk.
Yeah, girl talk. Like
Just being
Who doesn't like to talk
just
about
girls
sex?
talking about some dicks.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
No big deal. Just another night.
it's just
Exactly.
regular day.
Well, this was Word on the Curve. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Brittany.
And we'll see y'all next time in the video.
Bye.